How's it going, everybody? Just here hanging with my friend Oddball today. And we thought we'd talk to you guys about something very important in the reptile community, or very important dealing with reptiles. And today, that is dieting. The diets. Not you, I'm not saying anyone needs to go off some pounds. But maybe your reptiles do, or maybe you want to make sure they don't gain a few pounds too much. So today we're going to talk about something that's really debated on and also kind of can be a gray area for a lot of new reptile owners, and that will be the diet. And I decided to start today by going with my friend Oddball here, because these are one of the most common pets, reptiles. Do you not like your chin scratched? In the trade nowadays. Now, a common misconception with these guys is that they need a lot of protein. No. These guys, they're omnivores. Bearded dragons are omnivores, so they eat plants and animal sources. Primarily insects. They eat insects, guys. Come on, they eat bugs. Now, Oddball, she gets plants twice a week and bugs twice a week. As you can see, she's a really good weight. She's got a nice healthy tail, but you can still see and feel her hips. So she's got a good weight on there. Her belly may look a little big, but that's just the beardy in her. Huh, baby. Now, a big misconception that I always see people doing is they give their bearded dragons pinkies and mice. Don't do that, guys. They don't need that high source of protein. Mice and rodents are high in fats. They're high in proteins, and they do have calcium if they have the bones in them. The pinkies don't, because they don't really have bones in them yet. But, hold on one second. Ugh. Don't you hate it when you think you're gonna sneeze and you don't sneeze, huh, Oddball? Anywho, they don't need the high size of fat and proteins that a mice gives them. These guys, they eat bugs. They love veggies and some fruits. Like, one of her favorite treats is blueberries, believe it or not. And I give her roaches, the dubia roaches. Because those dubia roaches, like I went over in that Tegu Talk video I made, guys, about the creepy crawly aspect and making your own, or breeding your own bugs and stuff. Roaches are actually have more vitamins and proteins and stuff in them than a cricket does. Crickets are actually very lean. So, I mean, if you have a fat lizard that you're trying to get lean, I guess crickets are a good way to kind of get them lean, because they don't have much in the way of anything. Whereas roaches have a bunch of proteins and good stuff in them. But she gets bugs and she gets a lot of fruits and veggies. Today is not a feed day for her, though. She gets fed twice a week. As most of my animals get fed twice a week, guys. Hey, don't try to bite. I don't have food. Yeah, most of my animals, guys, get fed twice a week. The only ones that get fed almost on a regular daily basis are going to be my herbivores. So I went to the tortoises and Mahoon, the monkey-tail skink. And that's mainly because a lot of the plants I feed them are low in, they're low in vitamins and stuff, so they need that kind of extra boost. Also, most of the herbivores I have are still really young, so they require that food. And that's the thing too, guys. If you have a young lizard, a young reptile, feeding them daily is good. Feed them especially if you're gonna feed them daily, feed them a smaller amount. Like, I'll leave you to it, Miss Oddball. I'm gonna go on the walkabout with the rest of the reptilian friends. But, like, most of your younger animals and stuff, it is good to feed them every day. Like, our new little friend, the little baby redfoot that I've named Laloke, as you can see, I feed him a mix of veggies every day. But that's because he's still really young, and he needs that extra food to help build up himself. Whereas, like, my Tegus, Raylan and Sheila, and my Savannah monitor, McKenna, they're older animals, so I only feed them once a week, if every other week. I don't feed them as often. They don't need the food as often. And like I said, guys, diet is very important for these animals. Make sure you do the research and know what they're wanting to eat and what they're supposed to be eating. Don't just assume, oh, I saw the pet store give it to them, so it should be fine. That's a very bad idea. I mean, let me know if you guys want me to, but I'll make a video about my opinions on pet stores and the pet store I used to work at. I mean, I'll probably make a video anyway, but let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in watching, because I have some opinions about that and I'd like to share them with you guys. And maybe I can also hear about your guys' comments. But that is not what we're talking about today. We're talking about diet. The food that you should be feeding your animals, don't specifically go off what the pet store's feeding them. Because, I mean, like, this is one of the worst things to do, and I hated the fact that I've seen a lot of pet stores do this. A big one that's common to do is blue-tongued skinks. For some reason, it is a common thing to feed them cat food or dog food, which is a terrible idea. Dog foods and cat foods are so high in fats and just bad things, preservatives, fats. Something that I've seen is like, just, it's just bad for them. I mean, simply put, cat food and dog food, it's meant for cats and dogs. It's super high in fat. Chill, crazy lizards. Yeah, these crazy buggers jumping at me. But they're super high in fats, guys. They're meant for cats and dogs. They're not meant for lizards and stuff like that. Now, something that you can do, and I'm saying occasionally, and I mean very occasionally. And the funny part is I actually found out Raylan didn't like this. When Raylan was growing up and he was really little, I bought, I know I just said cat food's really bad, but I sourced a specific brand of cat food. I can't remember what it is, but you guys can do this too. It only had meat in it. It was 100% organic. It didn't have no additives. It didn't have no chemicals. It literally was just 100%, and it was wild bird and fish meat. That's the other important thing. Don't be feeding your lizards like pork and beef that are super high in fat and really bad for them. Because the biggest danger that reptiles face from being in captivity is, or one of them, I know someone will disagree with this, but one of the biggest things they face is, it's called fatty liver disease, guys. If you feed a reptile something if you overfeed a reptile, or you feed it foods that are super high in fats, that fat, it's not like a human where it goes, well, sort of is, it goes straight to their belly, but not like us where, we just grow a paunch. It goes to their liver mainly, and it will actually shorten their lifespan exponentially. I mean, like, you take a lizard that can live 20 years, and you'll be lucky if he lives 10 years if he's overweight. If that. You'll be lucky. So, that's why I'm saying, don't feed them these high fatty foods, like cat food. It's meant for cats. But like I said, pet stores, I've seen them do it a lot, where they're feeding blue-tongued skinks cat food. Blue-tongued skinks are omnivores, yes, but feed them, insects, fruits and veggies, kind of like Oddball and Raylan. Raylan eats a lot of fruits and veggies. Well, he eats a lot of fruits. Trying to get him to eat veggies is like trying to pull my own teeth. He's a pain in the butt. He's like a toddler, a permanent toddler. Also remember that if you ever get a lizard or a pet, it's like having a permanent toddler in your house. They do what they want, and if you don't do what they want, they throw a tantrum. But yeah, don't be feed the animals something that's meant for them. Feed lizards, feed insectivore lizards insects, primarily fresh, living insects. If you don't like to give them living insects, and that's not what you like to do, Flukers sells this amazing can of bugs that it's not even dried. It's just canned bugs. They're already dead, but they're still juicy and everything, and the lizards still love them. If you do end up feeding them dry bugs, make sure they have water. I mean, it's like you. If you eat a super dry corn chip or, some food that's really dry, you want to have a drink to wash it down so it doesn't get stuck in your throat. Make sure they have the same thing. Extend them the same courtesy. But, I remember, the reason I bring this up, guys, is when I used to work at this pet store, we had a lady come in who was wanting to change her leopard gecko's diet. And now, leopard geckos are insect eaters. They only eat insects. Maybe occasionally they'll nibble on a plant, but every leopard gecko I've ever encountered eats bugs. It's just how it is. She was wanting to buy a leopard gecko and basically turn it vegan. And we're like, that won't work. You will kill the lizard. It needs the proteins. It needs those. Well, can I feed it soybeans and stuff? No, it's not a human. And it's not like a dog or a raccoon where their digestive systems can handle these random things that humans eat. No, it's an insect eater. And she's throwing a fit and throwing a tantrum at us because we wouldn't sell her a leopard gecko because she was wanting to raise it purely on vegetables and end up killing it. Even though we were suggesting to her the dried foods and the canned foods of the bugs. No, I don't want to feed it another animal, even if the animal's dead. Then don't get a lizard. It's that simple. Get a guinea pig or, a hamster that only eats plants. Or if you're really dead set on a lizard, get an iguana, or a bearded dragon where they eat a lot of plants. I mean, don't try to force, it's funny, don't force your beliefs and your ways on your animals. An animal is going to respond to its instincts. It's going to respond to what it does. It's not going to respond to what you want all the time. Especially not reptiles. Reptiles do their own thing. I'm not saying they're dumb, because like Raylan and Sheila and a bunch of my lizards, they're very smart. And right now, if one of you guys jump at the wall, you're disproving my theory. But most reptiles are very smart. And they're actually, it's ingrained in their instincts. It's like most people have the instinct that, it's the natural instinct that most humans have where going out in the dark where you can't see isn't a good thing. It's an instinct that has been ingrained into us over thousands of years that usually bad things can hide in the dark, or, stay away from cliff edges, or, big predators usually mean danger. It's stuff that's ingrained into us. What they eat, it's instinctual. I mean, they hatch from the egg and know exactly what they need to eat. They go right for it, and, as they grow, they do develop and learn, okay, say, like, this bug tasted really bad. I'm not going to eat any more of those bugs. Or this bug was super tasty. I'm going to go specifically after that bug. So, I mean, don't try to change them, guys. If you don't want to feed your animal live food, there are so many options for pre-killed, humanely pre-killed food. Like, if you want a snake, but you don't want to feed it live mice, prime example, my mother, she hates mice. She loves snakes. She hates mice. She's afraid of mice. And back when I was growing up, we didn't have as much options as far as they do nowadays with the frozen thawed mice. But now you do. If you don't want to feed your snake live mice, you have so many options. You can bulk order frozen mice in these huge bags. I do for my snakes. So I mean, you got the options. If you don't want to watch the animal kill another animal, you don't have to. There's so many pre-killed options. And if you just purely don't want it to eat another animal and you think it's wrong for, like, say, a lizard to be eating a bug or a snake to be eating a mouse, find another pet. It's very simple. Find another pet. I mean, there are plenty of, you can get a tortoise, like this guy here, who only eats plants. I mean, I say that, and there has been evidence of tortoises eating protein sources because they're opportunistic, and they will eat whatever's presented to them. But, these guys, they're primary herbivores. They eat mostly plants. If you don't want something that eats animal protein, get a tortoise. Maybe not a sulcata tortoise because they get huge. Hey, really, dude? I'm just petting you. Maybe not a sulcata tortoise because they get really large. But, like our new little friend Laloke. a redfoot tortoise. They get big, but they don't get ginormous. I mean, look at him go. Nom, 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 nom. I'll let you guys watch him for a minute while I talk. They don't get big. You know, if you want a lizard, there's iguanas. I know they get huge, but let's see. There's iguanas. Bearded dragons eat a bunch of vegetables, but in order for them to be really healthy, you should be giving them some. I know I need to clean his water bowl. You should be giving them some bugs. I mean, Uromastics. They are primary herbivores. There are so many options, guys, that you don't have to feed your animal, or you don't have to get an animal that eats meat and then try to change that animal. Don't try to change it. Get an animal that fits you. Don't get an animal and try to make it fit you. Get one that already fits you. You know? But, I mean, like, getting back to the kind of track I was on, it's important to make sure that the animal you get, you're feeding it properly. Another misconception I get is people feed pinkies and mice to a lot of their lizards and their reptiles. A lot of reptiles, yes. Like, snakes are almost exclusive rodent feeders. They almost exclusively eat mice. So, I mean, that's fine. A lot of your monitor lizards need prey items. Like McKenna, his favorite thing is mice, but he only gets one every once in a while. Because, again, mice are kind of fatty. He mostly gets chicken and fish and eggs, stuff like that, where it's a little bit more healthier for him. Occasionally I'll give him a mouse just to make him happy. But the only exception you can do for that is like these water dragons, okay? I feed them bugs. Let me silence that. I feed them insects. They eat bugs, okay? Now, the thing is, though, I will give the two females pinkies, but only on special occasions. During laying season, when they're laying eggs, I will give them pinkies. Because they need some extra protein and some extra fat to build back up after laying eggs. Eggs take a lot out of the lizards. He always wants pinkies up there. Amari does, but he doesn't get pinkies. He doesn't need them. Even though he thinks he does. He doesn't need them. But I will give the female lizards and reptiles some extra protein like pinkies while they're laying eggs. Or during egg laying time. Because they need that extra oomph to help them bounce back from laying eggs. So I will do that. But as far as like a healthy male like him, no, he don't need pinkies. He gets his bugs and he's happy. His favorite, roaches. He loves the roaches. But, I mean, that's what I'm getting at, though, guys, is, you know, do your research. Like, heavily do your research before you go and just buy an animal. Even if it's like, say, a guinea pig, a hamster, a rabbit, a tortoise, a snake, a lizard, or even a bird. Or even a dog. You know, a dog or a cat. Just, all I'm asking is do your research. Find out what they eat, how they eat it, what's their healthiest options, what options are open to you. I mean, even a guinea pig, a lot of people think, oh, you just give a guinea pig pellets. No. Actually, they enjoy alfalfa, pellets, fresh fruits and veggies. I mean, that's what I'm saying, guys. Do your research. Find out what these animals like before you just buy them and try to make them fit you. Get an animal that fits you. Don't try to make the animal fit you. That makes sense. I hope it makes sense. I hope that you can get some stuff away from my rambling today. I know it's just... I apologize for that. Sometimes I get on one of those rants. And like I said, if I end up doing a pet store video, oh, wait for that one. That one's going to be good. But yeah, guys, no. So, just kind of recap what we talked about today. You know, balance your pet's diet. Research the diet. Make sure if it's an insect eater like Oddball, she's getting insects. Well, she's an omnivore. Make sure she's getting plenty of fruits, veggies, and insects. If it's a snake, like my friend who's hiding here, make sure she gets some mice. If you don't want to feed live mice, there's plenty of options for humanely killed animals. So look into that. I mean, if you want a turtle or a tortoise, there's plenty of tortoises that almost exclusively eat plants. And as far as turtles go, there's a balance. I mean, I got some like my box turtles who eat a bunch of everything, and then I got some like the snapping turtle who almost exclusively eats protein sources or animals. So, and then lastly, like I said before, I've capped it many times, so just remember it. Find the animal that fits you. Okay? Don't try to force the animal to fit you. Find an animal that fits you already. It's not hard. It's fun. I mean, my animals, reptiles. I love reptiles. They fit me, and I work to fit them. If that makes sense. As always, guys, I hope you learned a little bit today. I hope you walk away, scroll away, whatever you choose to do after this video. I hope you learned some stuff today. If you want to see some more, maybe next time I'll go into an actual feeding video where I'm feeding the animals and talking about the dieting. Just let me know in the comments. But as always, guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a rest of your week. If I don't post another video before then, happy Halloween. I will post one before Thanksgiving, but have a happy Halloween. Be safe out there. As always, have a good one.